Welcome back to Our Lakes, Our Stories, the show that celebrates the people, places, and the events that make Northern Michigan and Lakes of the North such a special place to call home. Got a packed show for you today. We're going to take a look at some of the upcoming summer events around the region. We'll look at concerts and community markets, live entertainment, and some important announcements affecting the future of our communities. So you want to stick around for that. Then later in the show, we'll sit down with Lakes of the North Campers Village Manager Erica Morgan. We're going to talk camping, of course, the summer visitors that are coming on up and what families can expect this season. And we'll close things out with another beautiful up north moment feature where we've got a nice photo submitted by one of our viewers, and we'll share that with you. But let's get started. And before we get into community events, we do have an important reminder from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. Fire danger currently extreme in parts of the Upper Peninsula and very high across northern lower Michigan. So if you're planning campfires, brush burning, or any kind of outdoor fires this weekend, please use extra caution and check the current burn restrictions before you light anything. Settings Restaurant. They've released their June entertainment lineup. Karaoke nights kicking off on June 5th with TNT Entertainment. We've got June 13th, the Patrick Ryan Band taking stage for live band night hosted by the Lakes of the North Arts Committee. And then we've got comedy night arriving June 20th. We'll wrap things up in June with bourbon and cigar night on the patio. Also coming up this weekend, weather permitting, we've got the first Lakes of the North Community Flea Market. That's going to happen Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Horse Stables. Great chance for residents to shop, sell, connect, and support local talent. The Lakes of the North Arts Committee announcing its concerts on the Green. Summer music series coming right up, and we're so excited about it. Going to be at the Lakes of the North Driving Range, starts at 7 p.m., and they'll open that to the public. No admission charged. However, they do appreciate donations. June 13th features the Adam and the Cabana Boys. July 11th, we've got Darren Larner. And August 8th, we'll wrap up the series with the Foghorn Jazz Band. Guests encouraged to bring lawn chairs. Food and drinks going to be available at Settings. And, of course, that summer concert series, just one of those things that give you that Northern Michigan summer feel. Mansalona Chamber of Commerce announcing its summer celebration concert series as well. Going to start later in July. They're free concerts, and they're going to be every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. downtown at the Clock, starting July 14th through August 18th. We'll kick things off with TC Knuckleheads opening it up on July 14th. Broom Closet Boys follow on July 21st. The Poor Boys performing on July 28th, and Neon Crows August 4th. Yankee Station going to take the stage on August 11th, and the Tyler Gitchell Band wrapping up the season on the 18th. Chamber also continuing its Lunch on the Clock networking events this summer. The next one, June 16th, features representatives from Northern Power Race Park and Ten Pines Ranch. Future Lunch on the Clock topics going to include skilled trades apprenticeship programs and retirement planning. So if you're looking for that, well, that's where you need to go, Lunch on the Clock. And if you're looking for recommendations for contractors, roofers, restaurants, painters, or any other services, don't forget to check your local chamber membership directories. It's a great way to support the businesses that actively invest back into the community. Now, another announcement for you. Applications available for residents in Lakes of the North interested in running for the HOA Board of Directors. That submission deadline, July 10th at 5 p.m. If you want to help shape the direction of this community moving forward, this is your opportunity to get involved. Now, with the camping season finally underway, we recently sat down with Campers Village Manager Erica Morgan to talk about the season ahead and what visitors can expect this summer and why camping remains such a big part of that Lakes of the North experience. Here's our earlier conversation. Yeah, so take me back to when you got here a year ago. Brand new to the gig. What were your expectations coming in? Like, what were you thinking about as you're coming into this opportunity?
Expectations, were that I was looking forward to being outside. The last 6 or 7 years, I had been working a lot inside under, white fluorescent lights at my desk, and working with my wonderful customers, but it was still inside of walls.
Right.
So I was really looking forward to being outside and hearing these birds chirp and the wind in my hair and getting some vitamin D.
Yeah.
But also, I knew that where I had come from, I've always been a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I've always been customer service oriented.
Yeah.
And I knew that working with a large group of folks that love being at this place, it would be an honor to get to know them and their families. And I had heard, that there were repeat customers, so you kind of watch their children grow up, and there's a connection between all of us. So I was looking forward to that.
So you heard that it was a pretty happy place to begin with. Any surprises when you got here? Like more so, less so? I mean, was the picture painted pretty accurately when you walked in, or?
I would say pretty accurately, if not even more so, that folks there's people that have their family reunion last year, and the oldest hierarchy in the family, it was his great great-great-grandchildren that are now coming to this annual family reunion. Right. So it's a lot of generations of folks that are my age that were here when they were babies.
Oh, man.
And now they're bringing their children, and I'm sure they'll be here with their grandchildren. So it's pretty interesting to see that folks have they're rooted here.
Well, and you're kind of, well, maybe not rooted per se at Lakes of the North, but you're Michigan homer anyway.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what was that feeling like coming back to, the Mitten?
Yes, well, years ago, about 13 years ago, work drew us out of Michigan, and we followed it, and we had a really great experience, and we were taken in by the local community there with open arms, and we felt like family when we were there. And so we're very thankful for that opportunity. However, we did want to come back to our roots in Michigan, and this door opened, and I'm very thankful for that.
What was the allure for this job, though?
Well, the outdoorsiness, backed by our family, and then also the fact of that community. I love the community feel. I'm proud to work with our CV committee, each one of these camping families, our team of employees here. I think that even though across the entire LOM property we don't see each other every day, I think that we have a great crew of folks that work here, and everybody is thoroughly concerned and wants to put our membership and our joy of being part of this association at the forefront.
That was always a challenge. Like Campers Village seemed like it was a family within the larger Lakes of the North area, and it feels like in the last couple of years they've really started to make an impression on the rest of the association, kind of with that enthusiasm and collaborative sort of atmosphere that you find down here. You see the same thing, or?
Yes, and I'm not the one to take credit for that movement. Right. I think that was probably started just as I was arriving. So, like I said, I'm just honored to be a part of it and to help move that forward. So we do have some exciting energy with our new activities chairperson and the entire committee of folks, some new good energy moving forward that is going to bring back what I hear from. So I like history.
Yeah.
I love to hear history about anything.
Yeah.
And so it's nice, some of the older folks that are here in the campground, if I stand with them around the fire and chit chat, or if we stand at the playground while they're watching their grandkids play and we chit chat, I'll get to hear little snippets of stories of this is how it was when my wife and I used to work, and we'd bring our kids up on a Friday night and we'd travel, far distance and get set up, and we tent camped back then, and there was a hayride that went to what's now the Northern Bear gas station to get ice cream, and the Vanderplug family was the leader at that point as far as management went, and we'd go on off-campus canoe trips and do different things. We'd all split firewood together. We didn't buy $5 bundles of firewood. We'd all go out into the woods as a team, and we'd split firewood, and we'd bring it all back, and everybody just got to take it back to their campsite. There was no charge because we all worked together, or we assembled the playground equipment together. It wasn't something that the maintenance crew did. So I've heard all sorts of different stories of how the energy back in the 80s and into the 90s may have gotten a little lost, and now they want that energy to come back, and it's starting to head that direction. So I hear a lot of good feedback about that.
Well, first of all, with your CV activities president, Crystal, that's a whole family effort there. That's one of the things I love about them is you always see the entire family involved in whatever's going on up here, and that's just a good example for folks to follow. And it's got to be impossible not to be enthusiastic when you see little ones having so much fun with, I mean, even things like salsa cooking events and other things that we've done here. But you know, that teamwork, you got to enjoy a fish fry last year, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
Fresh bluegill.
Yes.
That's a perfect
What a
example
treat.
of what you were talking about. I mean, it seems like there's that collective atmosphere down here. What, just kind of taking a look at, let's be pragmatic. Nothing's perfect. And when you got here, obviously there were some challenges, whether it was, process oriented or just an issue that hadn't been solved yet, a maintenance thing or whatever. What would you say was the biggest challenge that you had to overcome when you kind of got in here?
So we got here on approximately March 15th, and on April 1st, the ice storm, Mother Nature showed up.
That's right.
And I just remember thinking, besides the fact that our electric was out, I remember thinking, oh my word, this is a huge mess.
Yeah.
This is going to take so long to clean up.
Yeah.
Fortunately, our maintenance department and Jim Duffy were right on it.
Yeah.
And came in and helped with a lot of tree and limb cutting, as far as not so much on mine or our couple of maintenance guys here at the campground's back. But once they got all of that big stuff out of the way, then we were able to go up and do the raking and the bending over to pick up the small sticks and all that kind of stuff. In addition to what Mother Nature's haircut during that 10-day period.
Yeah.
There also was other hair trimming, I'll call it that needed done around here. So it just kind of all fell into place. We did trim a lot of branches, and it was nice. There was a lot hanging over people's campers that weren't even affected from the ice storm. It was time.
Yeah.
Maybe they hadn't been cut in 10 or 15 years, and it was just time. So we did a lot of that physical work, which I think this year, spring, it's all growing in nicely.
Yeah.
So you don't even know that we cut anything back, but it's been safer for our campers and the units that are here. So that was a big challenge in year one.
And you've seen some positive things too as well. I mean, and I guess that's a positive coming out of a negative event. But new playground equipment coming in here.
Yes,
Jim took care of that,
yes.
and I believe the maintenance team was part of that process too.
Yeah.
What other sort of things, big markers on the wall happened in that last year that kind of come to mind and make you feel some pride in the community?
Really just taking a good look at our rules, our policies and rules here at the campground. Nobody likes a stickler. However, there are rules that need to be abided by because we have to respect our fellow campers as well. So some might like this rule and some might like that rule, and then you don't like this one and you don't like that one. But they are for the good of the whole campground as a whole, and I think everybody here is respectful. And not only are they respectful of their neighbors, but they're willing to help, and they love to get together around the community bonfire and with their children, and maybe even after the children go to bed and the adults gather around. It's just there's really great fellowship here.
Yeah. Big summer. You've got one under your belt. What do you think is the biggest hurdle you got to kind of get over this year as you're going through the busy summer month? Well, about to.
Well, I don't even really feel that there's any huge hurdles. Mm-hmm. There are still quite a few physical tasks as far as some lights that are out on certain posts for safety reasons throughout the campgrounds that need rewired. We still had some, I call it the OG campground. It's the original campground behind site number 150.
Yeah.
And it has that really great vintage playground equipment that's metal and all the paint has chipped off of it over the years, and those
Yeah.
old swings that you and I used to play on when
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
in elementary school,
Yeah.
versus the 2 new sets that Jim had installed last year,
Yeah.
which are beautiful.
Yeah.
But that old playground equipment is super great and everybody loves it. So we're going to be working on refurbishing that this year and bringing in some new sand to make that whole area freshened up, which is a project. But I'm not sure so many hurdles, as I'm really excited about the energy that Crystal is bringing, along with the other 3, Jay, Megan, and Jordan,
Yeah.
to our leadership on the CV committee. They have some cool stuff coming up, and I get to help with it.
Yeah.
But they're the drivers of it.
Yeah.
So that I think everybody will be happy with it.
How does that collaboration work? I mean, you obviously are a paid manager. You're part of them, and then you've got your leadership team as far as the committee's concerned, and it seems like the integration's seamless. How do you manage that? Because obviously, I mean, you're coming at it from different angles, I would say.
Yeah, so I'm more so the physical, make sure the grass is cut and make sure everything's operating and make
Yeah.
sure we're clean and tidy and make sure everybody's abiding consistently by the rules.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that have the ideas
Yeah.
and can make those extra activities and events fun. For last year, there was many events for children. Now we're thinking children focused, I would say.
Yeah.
Now we're going to think a little bit bigger, and let's get the adults involved too, and
Yeah.
let's do that pig roast and have a beer tent, or
Ooh,
let's
yeah.
do that kickball game. Yeah, or maybe even some type of the restaurant does a chili cook-off, but we could do some kind of a barbecue cook-off or something along those lines where, of course, for me, I love to see the kids riding their bicycles around
Yeah.
and playing at the playgrounds, but it's nice to get something for the adults to focus on as well.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's inclusive of the whole family, really, with
Yep.
a lot of the stuff you're talking about, sans the beer tent. But I mean, I used to love barbecue as a little guy, but might have had a sip of my dad's PBR too when I was a lad. But so we've got some big events. Obviously, 4th of July is a big event. It's the fireworks potentially. We'll see how the weather and the atmosphere is, but potentially fireworks coming back to Lakes of
Yes.
the North and for the whole community and so forth. Anything big or new? I mean, you kind of mentioned some ideas, but and we've even seen recently about a walking trail that there's a committee or a subcommittee that's going to be working on, and
Yes.
that's kind of started here.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that right? Okay.
Yes. So it will be on Campers Village's section of the property here in LON. So the head of the trailhead, will be close to our entrance of Campers Village
Okay.
and do a loop through that front section of ground that hasn't been developed. And then also kind of back behind me here where the dog walk is by sites like 67, 68,
Okay.
that heads back towards the field. However, the walking path will stay into the woods.
Okay.
And I won't steal Crystal's thunder
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
for her to share. It's her idea, and
Right.
she's moving forward with her group with that. But that is something that I think is going to be a great addition here.
Yeah.
And of course, you have to remember that because it's Campers Village, it is an amenity for all LON members to enjoy
Yeah.
and use.
Yeah.
It's not only for campers that have a reservation.
So speaking of another cool thing that kind of started here last year, your community garden is in year 2, and it seems like it's bigger and better. You needed more space this year, more enthusiasm behind it. Talk about the evolution of that project.
Well, I think that all things year 1 is just getting your feet wet and getting things going, and then year 2, once you start to be established, then it can start to grow.
Right.
So I think with Crystal and Taylor's leadership of getting that started last year and their investment with making it top-notch and beautiful as far as all the posts and the way it looks, they really have done a great job. We did discuss last year adding on to it, so there was a growth strategy. So they've added a raspberry row and a grape row this year, and then I think fruit trees are coming maybe next year. It's going to extend out towards the field in the back. However, the ball field's there and the horseshoes and the volleyball, so it's not going to get too crazy, but it's a place again for being grounded. I think part of the reason people love to come to camp, no matter if you're coming from the greater metro Detroit area or Ohio or Indiana, or even some of our folks come from the UP and come down here to camp for the summer.
Yes.
They come down versus most people come up north. But either way, I think part of the attraction of coming to camp is you're getting grounded. You're getting, even though we still have Wi-Fi and your cell phone works here, you're trying to get off of the grid and get your kids off of their tablets and get out there and ride bicycles and run barefoot through the sandy playgrounds and listen to the birds and not be disturbed by all the things that we all get wrapped up in our daily lives. And it's an exhale. So I think the garden is just one more thing that our families can teach our children to get your hands dirty and plant something and pick your food instead of just relying on the grocery stores.
Or you can run down to Pencil Lake and catch your food.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim was instrumental in working with some of the residents, some of the longtime residents too, to stock the lakes up. So I expect we'll have a pretty nice little fish fry this year as well.
Yes.
So looking forward to that. Well, listen, I want to get into just some real quick hitter questions here, just to kind of get a sense for what kind of shenanigans we can expect from you. So, favorite trip you've ever taken? Because this obviously isn't, this is a thing you like to do, right? So what's your favorite trip ever?
My dad used to take me annually to Fisherman's Island State Park,
Okay.
which is up in Charlevoix, and we would always go. I forget if it was the end of June or July or the beginning of August, but it was during the Venetian Festival, which was downtown Charlevoix.
Yeah, sure.
So Fisherman's Island was, I don't know, a 10 or 15-minute drive out of town, but it was a rustic campground, so we always had to take our bucket and pump the well and fill our bucket to bring it back to camp. And I always called them the rhinoceros rooms because of the scent they gave off, but they were just the porta-johns that were just a deep hole down in the earth, no flushing toilets.
Yeah.
And we camped in tents, and I always knew my dad snored, but since we had to share the same tent, I could not believe he snored so loud. I'd always hoped to get to bed before him when I was a kid.
Yeah. Pre-CPAP days.
Yeah. So those are my good memories of camping, because it was truly, and then, we'd try and get a beach site, but sometimes we didn't, but just getting our feet and swimming in that cold Lake Michigan water and picking the skipping rocks and skipping them, it was just beautiful.
So, this is kind of a moot question to ask. I'm going to ask it anyway. Camping or glamping?
Camping.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. So what is a one must-have item that people cannot or should not overlook before they go camping of any kind?
Well, as far as here goes, I'm going to tell you, there are some crazy temperatures here. So even 2 weekends ago, on Memorial Day weekend, it was warm like this during the day.
Yeah.
I still came out here for our community bonfire with my long johns on.
Really?
I had my warm socks and my long johns because I knew that we were starting the fire at 7. On the other side of the building, we had the kids' movie and popcorn, which I brought my blanket for, and then came back over here and motated and hung around with everybody for a while, and I did not want to get cold, so I would recommend, and even even last week, it's still frosted. My garden got frostbite. Don't forget your long johns when you come up North Michigan.
Best quick tip for a new camper?
Quick tip. I don't know that just meeting your neighbors, everybody here is so nice.
Yeah.
They're willing to pitch in, they're willing to help, they'll guide you back if you need to back your camper in. Everybody here is so nice.
Yeah.
Yep, you don't even really have to ask, so.
Yeah, okay.
They'll just step right up.
What's the most common rookie mistake campers make?
A rookie mistake. I don't know. It's so nice here. I just think this place is great. And I think that's why everybody keeps coming back. This place is great.
Folks and helping each other out.
Yes.
Like I see that too with a lot of even just parking and whatnot.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. Okay.
And if they need anything, we're always available at the office. My phone number is listed. That's one thing. I have my work phone number, so people can call me, text me. I have tons of people's number in my phone already. If I don't have yours, I'll add it right in. I'll be right there if you need a hand.
What's the one thing that you're most proud of in the year that you've been here?
Like our team accomplishments as far as our employees here at the campground, between Fanny's in the office, Doug and Charlie are on bathroom duty, and then Eddie's on our maintenance crew. We have really ship-shaped a lot. I think this place was already operating well when I arrived, but since then we've streamlined some processes and made some checklists and did a little more digging deep into some cleaning procedures and stuff. So I think we're in really good shape around here.
And we've seen some capital improvements come down here too, not just the playground. I mean, that's got to be exciting for the folks here too.
Yes. So I did appreciate our summer bathhouse here. It has a cedar ceiling inside of there. And then it had all the old tiling. When you first walked in, my impression was, smells like camp when I was a kid. I think it was that old cedar roof, which is now painted, and I don't smell that smell anymore. But I also don't smell the other like 1980s smell that I also smelled along with the cedar. So it looks very sharp in there.
Okay.
They'd made some great design choices. So hopefully everybody's happy with that.
Excellent.
For now.
Excellent. Well, listen, Erica, I know you got a lot to do. Really appreciate you taking some time
Yes.
today.
It's always nice to sit around a fire.
Yeah, and it's always nice for me as one of those outside residents to be able to come down here and hang out for a little bit too, because like you said, you know, you kind of come into the front entrance and it's the vibe is just, I mean, you can feel it when you come in here.
Good, good.
Yeah. So I appreciate you carrying on well, and even to some degree helping to bring back, you know, some fantastic traditions here at the CV. Yeah, looking forward to more.
We're all in this together. It's not my campground, it's their campground. I'm just here to help.
Appreciate it, Erica. Thank you. Thanks again to Erica Morgan for joining us, and best of luck to the entire Campers Village team this season. Always exciting to see the campground come alive each summer. And of course, it's great to see the entire Lakes of the North community come back alive. And before we go, we want to take a moment to show you something else very much alive from our Up North moment. This week's photo comes from one of our viewers who captured an absolutely beautiful shot of one of our baby fox out there enjoying northern Michigan sunshine. It's moments like this that are a reminder of why so many of us just love living up here. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Our Lakes, Our Stories. If you have events, photos, videos, or story ideas that you'd like featured on the show, make sure you reach out to us. You can message us through Facebook or leave a comment on our YouTube page. And until next time, stay safe, enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you around the lakes.